Hey guys, welcome back. This is another week we are talking about This Is Not a Draft, new project that we got coming out. We're really excited. We have just moved into production from pre-production, so we're out there. We're getting all these interviews recorded, and we're doing the filming. We're hitting out sites. This week we're filming in Phoenix, Arizona this weekend. But then the week after that, we'll be in San Diego, California. And we are just super stoked that we have now started our funding. So we are really excited for that. We Today I've got a couple of the veterans who have agreed to be in the documentary with me today. We've got Grant and we've got Cris on. So yeah, so I'm really excited. I was able to go out and fly out to DC and already met with the two of them, and our good friend Eric, and we were able to get out and get them and talk to their stories. And I think they're excited about the project. What do you guys think?
Absolutely, man. I'm totally stoked. I believe in the message that the film is trying to convey, and anything that we can do to get a positive message out to our fellow veterans, and actually to the rest of the nation too, to make sure that at all times, veteran issues are kind of like forward in someone's mind. Be like, hey, just because the war is over doesn't mean that the war that we kind of go through is over, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to heal. So I'm absolutely honored to be part of this, and I can't thank Jack enough for allowing me to contribute.
Yeah, guys, it's wow, kind of hard to follow that, right?
You're
Um,
welcome.
yeah, thanks, appreciate it. So yeah, kind of the same, man. I think this is a great venture and it's a great opportunity for people to get a little more insight into, some of what vets have gone through, our perspective on things, I think. Not to speak for it, it's it's Jack's baby, and I think it's a great opportunity, like I said, for people to to take a look and see, hey, what has happened? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Pre, post 9/11, what occurred and our perspectives. But more importantly, I think is what Grant said, and that's being able to help people out there, right? So I'm hoping, and I think it will, um, it'll show as an opportunity to help people, and that's really what we're about, at the nuts and bolts of things, right? Kind of sharing to help people get that insight, but then help them move forward with things that may or may not bother them. Not just the vets, right? Those families that have supported us and those first
Absolutely.
responders, all the people that were involved. Those are just everybody's a key component in this, both pre and post 9/11. So thanks for allowing me to be a part.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you guys. I had a great time flying out to DC, going over to Grant's house, and we were able to do some recording there. I'm really hoping to get back out and actually be able to bring the film crew this time. When I went out last time, I went out solo. So sometimes right now we're in the middle of this fundraising, and it's hard to bring several people on a trip to a place. And so, I was able to go out and do the advance party, go out and do Advon, and go out, capture what we could. But I'm excited. I think we've got some really cool stories. I was in a meeting last night doing pre-production for another veteran that we're going to go see in 2 weeks. And he, I was really excited going through it because he got it. Like he totally understood the fact that there's a little bit of therapy in just having these conversations, recording
Oh
it,
yeah.
doing the film. Like, yes, that's great. And we're excited for that. But even just like the process is something that people are really responding to, and I was super stoked because I had scheduled a 30-minute call with him. An hour and a half later we got off the call, and it was like, dude, yeah, we're stoked to come see you, we're stoked to come do the recording. Like, thanks Danny in San Diego, right? Another Navy guy who has some great stories. He's got a bar called Ale Tales. We're gonna be going and checking out Ale Tales on J Street
That's
in San
fantastic.
Diego. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. So like I'm thrilled with this whole project. Like I couldn't be more lucky to be able to say that this is what I'm doing with my life, is going out and grabbing stories and just connecting with other veterans. Like it's been a huge blast for me. I've kind of talked about, like, I was a part of a program called Treks for Vets. That's through my local university. But but there's some other programs. But it's basically all these things are just geared towards getting veterans together so that they can go out and focus on a thing that they're passionate about. For some people, it's the hiking. That's what Treks for Vets is. It's we go out and for a couple of days, you spend just time out hiking and you're just out in nature and you're doing the nature bathing. But in the midst of that, you're challenging yourself physically and you're talking to other veterans. And the engagement with other veterans is the secret sauce to me. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what this movie is for me. The documentary is getting the veterans together. We've got a veteran crew that we've put together. Not everybody on the crew is veteran, but we're getting as many veterans as we can to be a part of the crew. So we've got Andrew Baker, he's our producer, and then we've got Marcus Ferguson. Sorry, Andrew was Army. He was a 68 whiskey medic. Um, Marcus, I don't know what his MOS was, but he was in the Air Force, and good guy, solid. He's our director of photography. And then we've got John Good. He's doing a lot of producing for us, and he's working through us actually officially through the university. He's getting credits for working on this project with us. So I'm really excited for
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah, John is a former surface warfare officer from the Navy. I
Whoa.
Yeah, he's a SWO. He was a commander. He got out. So we're excited to tell all these
That's
stories.
cool, man.
Yeah, dude, it's like it just gets me all amped up. Like I love
Yeah.
it.
That's awesome.
It's so much fun and just it is a real honor to be able to be a part of this and to be able to do it. And so I appreciate everybody who is, putting in their hand and helping us out however they can. Like whether it's just sharing out the stories or if you're able to give, we've got the GoFundMe that's set up. That would be really appreciated, be really amazing because we have people all over the United States who've reached out to us and would love to tell their stories, and we want to give them this experience. So yeah, that's our goals right now. I mean, we're just excited. We're having fun. The DC trip was the first trip that I went to, and I got to go see Grant and Chris and Eric, and we just had a blast. I mean, we sat there and we went through and we did each guy's acts. They're act one, two, and three. The acts are act one, what was your motivation to join? Act two is what was the price of your service? And then act three is what's life after service like for you. And so we heard a little bit of those pieces from the guys in DC, but I want to get more because there's so much more footage we could capture. There's so much more story left to tell. And so we're hoping we can get out there and get out there and tell these stories. So yeah, super excited. But
That's
thanks for
awesome.
joining me today, guys. We'll keep it short. Just wanted to do a little check-in and an update and introduce you to two of the stories who are in the documentary called This Is Not a Draft.
Well, technically, isn't it three stories, Jack?
Well, my story is also in it, and then Eric
There you
would
go.
be. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So I haven't talked too much in an open forum about my life story, but I'll just kind of give you the lowdown and dirty. So I served in the Navy first for 6 years. Had a good time. I was in logistics. I did a counter narco terrorism deployment to Central America and had fun on that. We were fighting all the drug runners and had a 7 metric ton cocaine bust that was super cool. I was excited to be a part of that
Ruin
with
someone's
the
party.
oh, I do totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a good time though.
Oh,
Um
my bad.
but yeah, so I did that, and then I got out of the Navy because my son was born. And when my son was born, I got out and I moved back to Arizona, and things fell apart with that relationship, and I did not stay with my ex, and I moved on and started working at Arizona State University. And while I was working there, I met an Army recruiter, and he was like, "Hey, man, come over to the dark side." And I was like, "Well, only if you have cookies." And so, he got me a cool job that I liked, and I enjoyed
I
doing
fell
it.
for that one too.
Oh, I know, right? Absolutely. He's like, "We have cookies." All right, cool. I'll go, bro. So yeah, I met the Army recruiter when I got to ASU. I also met my wife when I got to ASU. And so, we fell in love and we got married, and I started working at the unit. They make me redo Army boot camp. I have to go back and do the whole thing again. Totally crazy, right? So 2013, it's time to go deploy, time to head to Afghanistan. My son, unfortunately, had to stay with my ex wife while I was on deployment, and he was killed. and it just really rocked my world. And so I had this huge, insane experience, and it just really brought me down. And I mean, I'm talking not like for like a month, not for like 2 months, for like 6 years. I was out, bro. Like I was totally out. And I lost my military career because of it. And I had to kind of move on and go into other places. And I had a really strong support crew, my wife, family members and community members and army buddies who were all there to support me. But like everything was hard. There was nothing that was easy, and it just sucked. And I was sucking for a long time. And at some point in time, I got a call from somebody else who's like, "Hey, you want to go back to Afghanistan?" I went back to Afghanistan. I served a year and a half there as a contractor, and it something about it just brought me back to life. I remember landing in Helmand province, and started taking fire, and the guy in the door just started opening up on the Taliban. And I had AC/DC blasting through my headphones. And so AC/DC plus a bunch of rounds from a 240 and the door gunner just going off. And I was like, I'm alive and I'm here and I'm back and I'm ready to take care of things. Right. So, like, that was one moment. And there was a whole bunch of therapeutic moments and all of those things, but that was one moment that just really brought me to life. And I'm really fortunate for it. And a lot of people don't understand that, because it's such a crazy concept. I had to go back to war in order to get back to reality and in order to get back to me. But those are moments and those are things that I want to share with people, because I think that experience will, I think that experience can help other people. Like, other people have experienced trauma. And one of the things that I've kind of jokingly said is that I'm on a mission to like take out negativity, right? Like, there's so much negativity in our world. I am focused hardcore to try to just push out negativity and to create positive spaces. And I want this movie to do that for people. Like, I want people to see that, like, you can get beat up, and you can get beat up hard by life, but you can still come back from it. And like, life is still worth living. Like, I remember on that same trip when I was in Afghanistan, I had just pulled into Kandahar, and I don't have any love for Kandahar. That's where I was when my son was killed. And then it was that day that I found out that, the day that I got there, I found out that a good buddy had committed suicide. And he was a former Navy guy who'd also joined the Army like I had. And so I had a lot of kinship with him. And it just really kind of broke my heart. And I was just like, dude, this nothing is worth it, right? And it was totally sucking, and I was down. And then I had that moment that just brought me back into it. And so I want to tell other people, I want to normalize other people. Like, life is going to be hard, but you can get back up and you can do it. And you've got a community around you. Like, we need to support our military community. We need to support each other, the veterans and the families of all the people who've paid that ultimate price, and all the people who've paid a price, right? Everybody who joined the service after 9/11 was a volunteer. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about in this film, is that, like, everybody volunteered, everybody signed up. And that is something that is really worth calling out, because we had a crazy thing happen to our country, and then a bunch of people signed up to go participate in trying to make it better. So I'm pretty excited about that. Sorry, I got my blood going from telling my own story, but
It's great, brother, man.
we got more of it coming. So yeah, stay tuned. So,
Awesome.
all right. Well, thanks so much for watching today, guys. This has been just a real brief moment, but we've got our hand out, and we're hoping you guys will be able to help us tell this story, because I think it's worth telling, and there's a lot of people who have similar stories that they'd like to share.
Yeah, awesome. Go Army and Navy.
And I would say this, in my parting wisdom, if I may, might not necessarily help today, but the next generation of veterans might be able to watch this film and learn something too. And so it transcends age and and conflicts. So
Absolutely.
heed some wisdom.
For sure. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care.